Hi there. This is going to be the first in a series of videos that I'm going to make to show how to use templates that I've made for nets that can be folded to make certain geometric objects without using any tape or glue. I'm also a big fan of origami and have designed some of that, and I'll make videos on some of those as well. But the idea here is if you're not really into origami and all the intricate folds of that, you can take templates that you can cut out. You do have to cut them out, but then you can fold and put them together without using tape or glue. And I'm going to start with what we call the Platonic solids. Okay, Plato figured out a long time ago that there were exactly 5 solids that could be built out of a single regular polygon to where they come together with the same configuration around every vertex, such as the cube, has 3 squares coming together at every vertex. An octahedron has 4 equilateral triangles coming together around a vertex and so forth. So I'm going to show you how to do nets for all these. In the first video, I'm going to look at the simpler 3 here, the tetrahedron, the octahedron, and the cube. And then in a follow-up video, I'll look at the slightly more complicated shapes of the icosahedron and the dodecahedron, which have more faces, 20 faces and 12 faces. So the first thing we would need to do is get the templates from my webpage, which the links to those are in the description. I have blank versions, but I also have these that are made to basically be dice, where the tetrahedron are numbered 1 through 4. Of course, the dice, you have the standard pips, and then the octahedron there is numbered 1 through 8. So once you've obtained these, you want to cut out around the outlines. I have used dark solid lines to indicate where you're going to cut. So you're going to cut around the edges, but also, for instance, on the octahedron, you're going to cut this line segment. Similar on the dice, you're going to cut around the edges, but there's some darker line segments that you're going to cut as well. Okay, so I'm going to cut those out, and then I'll show you how to fold them. The first one I'm going to fold is the tetrahedron, made out of 4 equilateral triangles. Now, a regular net would only have the 4 faces, but I've made this net so that I'm not going to need any glue or tape, so I've made some extra faces. But you just cut out along the outline. This one, there's no extra cuts. You just cut out along the outline. And then you want to fold and crease every single one of the line segments, which I've already done. You just crease along all of the lines in that direction. And then you're going to fold, for instance, this says tab 4. That's going to wind up going under face number 4. And then I'm going to fold it around and put tab 3 under face number 3. And then the last one says tab 1. I'm going to curl and tuck that inside to tab 1. And if I do that correctly, it's going to stay firmly in place. And we've created the tetrahedron in this particular pattern with the 4 numbered sides. Next up, I think I'm going to do the octahedron, which has 8 faces made out of equilateral triangles, made up same as the tetrahedron, made up of regular equilateral triangles. This one, you have to make one extra cut. You cut out the template around the border. I've used the same dark, thick line to denote this edge here that you need to cut as well. And then you're going to fold all these in the opposite direction, fold away, and fold all of those, and then we'll be ready to put it together as an octahedron. Okay, I've folded all the creases on this one, and now I'm ready to fold the octahedron. A couple of labels. I've labeled here under 5 and under 1, because you're going to start by folding like that, and then work from here. When I built the net, I needed this extra piece to have places to tuck. The very last, I've went ahead and labeled here just with pencil. The last thing I'm going to do is fold and tuck this one between those 2 layers to hold it together. So I start by taking the one that's labeled under 5 and fold that, and they go under 5 and under 1. And then just start folding around. I'm building an octahedron here, so if I start folding under, I'm going to save that one for last. So fold the blank sides under. You'll bring it together and you'll have a nice octahedron, except the very last one I have to tuck between the layers. Okay. And then just kind of sharpen all the creases. But there we go. This one you could use as dice since it has the flat face. Okay. Then lastly, we'll do the cube. I'm going to do dice. I'm just going to make one of them here, but I'm going to cut out one of these. Again, there's some extra dark lines I have to cut here and here, here and here, here. Okay, so I'm going to cut all that out. Okay, finally I'm going to do the cube. So on the cube, you cut out the main template and then there's some extra cuts. You have the darker lines, the thicker lines. You're going to cut here and here, here and here, so that this part is like that. And then you cut here and here as well. Okay. Again, on the template, they're darker lines. Then fold all of them away from you. And then I'm going to fold these two up. And then bring this over to make the top and down the sides. And then fold this up and around. And then the final thing to do is to tuck these in. Okay. So one little trick that I figured out here is sometimes when you're inserting the final tab, it's hard to push it as far in as you would like it to go to make everything nice and crisp. So I'm going to actually fold the tab over and use a paper clip, either unfolded or this one I could actually fit the whole paper clip under. But get it started. And now there's a place where I can insert the paper clip and push it through. Just get it started a little bit and then put the paper clip in. You can push that in and you'll get a much tighter fold.